Welcome, adventurers. I'm Jingles Roscoe. I'm the GM for the Dragon's Demand. This is an archived episode. It was originally recorded for another podcast, so you'll be hearing the name of that podcast from time to time. The events of this episode are still canon to the Dragon's Demand adventure, so you can consider this a bit of a prequel to that adventure. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, men and women, children of all ages, you're about to experience the opportunity to get in on the conversation. So do me a favor, join the conversation as you're about to step into the world of conversations about ... I hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to one of the most exciting episodes of Conversations about ... ever. We get the opportunity today to talk to you about some Pathfinder characters, which you're going to get to know in more detail when we do our adventure. So who's here with me? I know I'm here. This is Will. I'm the host of your show, but who else is here?
I am here. I am Jingles Roscoe, and with me I have my little brother.
I'm here. Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Did I miss the thing?
No, we're done.
Okay.
Okay.
I have been Smiter Roscoe, and I guess we'll catch you guys next time.
Okay, goodbye.
I couldn't even do it. I was going to be like, thank you for another episode of Conversation about ... But anyway, so we're back, and we're ready to discuss Pathfinder characters. So I would like one of you guys to talk first.
Okay.
So whichever one would choose to go.
Go ahead, brother. You go first. You're our dungeon master.
Hey, you know what's funny? Is that you're berating me, but I do have a character that I created.
I'm not berating you. I'm saying it's ironic because the first person I'm deferring to is the person that has probably 3 characters.
I only have 1 character. I create because the module, which is what is referred to as like the prefabricated adventures, they're called modules, and the module that we're using. It's suggested that 4 players participate. 4 players and then 1 dungeon master, so 5 people total. So I created a character, since there's only 3 players that we have right now. I created a character to have in case you guys wanted the help for it, which Will, Candace, and Smiter have all said that they would appreciate the extra help. So I created an extra character for Pathfinder. He is a gnomish alchemist.
Oh lordy!
Yes. And his name is Carmine Crendau.
Oh, nice. That's
of the Crendau family.
Carmine.
Pleasure to meet y'all. And
nice.
Carmine Crendau is an alchemist.
Yeah.
And an alchemist is very interesting as they're very... so alchemists don't come in the first core rulebook. Alchemists come in a second rulebook, which I believe is Ultimate Class Guide.
I think it's the Advanced Class.
Okay, it might be Advanced Class Guide. Yeah. Which I could get, but I don't want to. It's literally sitting like on the other side of the room. Like I could get up and get
Jingles is in a box.
But I'm in like this my gamer box. My gamer cube, if you will.
Yeah.
So in the Roll20 app, they don't have the information for Alchemist that I needed, so I had to put everything in like by hand, which is fine. Carmine is a little gnomish alchemist. So imagine just like a little gnome. He's got pointy ears. I would say imagine former U.S. President Martin Van Buren. And
history lesson.
Yes.
Huh.
So imagine that, except a gnome.
Okay.
And way more peppy and happy looking. Because Martin Van Buren, I don't know if there's a single picture out there of him actually smiling. But Carmine, he's an alchemist. And the way that I had it is the module takes. You start off the module in the town of Sandpoint, and so I have it that his family is they they've had a long running with doing alchemy at Sandpoint, and he kind of provides like alchemist sticks or alchemist fire and like stuff for
ever burning
torches, stuff like that, and potions. And so his family is big on making potions and stuff, and that's kind of what I was going to have him be focusing on. Alchemists are interesting because they're similar to wizards in the fact that they use intelligence to cast spells. But when they cast spells, what they're actually doing is creating potions, and then they drink the potions to essentially do the spell. And the potions that they create last for the entire day, and then so they can drink it whenever they need to do it, and whenever they need to drink it. And so, creating a spell or creating a potion takes about a minute to brew it up, depending on the spell and stuff. But so Carmine is just a little. Just imagine just a little gnomish guy with like a bunch of little vials strapped to his vest and stuff, and then a backpack that's about the same size as him.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and he's he's very like observant. He likes to like study things to the point where he'll tune out like people talking to him because he's so interested in learning about whatever it is that he's looking at the moment, which I'm sure will come into play when we're actually playing the thing itself.
Gotcha.
He's a really sweet little guy. He's 80 years old, so he's got he's like bald on top and a really floofy white mustache that connects to his the hair he still has on the side.
It's like the world's best Mobius mustache.
And it's really floofy. And he's just a little sweet little guy. But yeah, he's going to be a lot of fun to play, I think. I don't normally play spellcasters, but with the group that we have right now, there's not much as far as spellcasting goes in our group. And
in other words, we may need a spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we may need a healer.
Yeah, a healer, probably.
I need the monk needs healing.
The monk needs healing.
Blue dwarf needs food badly.
The gauntlet stuff, ladies and gentlemen, greatest game ever.
I disagree, but I like your style.
I like your moves.
Okay, let's try it this way. One of the greatest games ever.
Hey.
And so, he also mostly attacks by creating bombs. And so that's part of the alchemist kit, is to create bombs and create potions. And that's kind of how he defends himself. But I think, let me see, I have a weapon on him as well. He also has a dagger. So if need be, he'll also be able to defend himself with a dagger. But otherwise, he's meant to kind of stay at a safe distance and try and do damage from a safe distance, as he is not particularly strong and he is kind of squishy. So, but he's fun, and I think he's going to be a lot of fun to play. But that's kind of the character. Carmine Krendow is his name.
Aw, he sounds lovable.
I hope he will be. We'll see.
All right. So, if y'all don't mind, I'd like to introduce mine.
Sounds great.
So, my character's name is Harbinger. Mm-hmm. He was given that name. That's not the name he was really born with, of course. He was given that name on the battlefield. And so, there's a backstory that I have for him where basically Harbinger is a monk. He studies a lot of disciplines of martial arts. He's trying to find the ways to calm his center. And due to the fact that he was born in a very kind of away from the world, he was born in a world away from war, but then through a process of him kind of rebelling against his parents' more calm, peaceful ways, he decided that when the military came and knocking on the door one day looking for soldiers, he would go. Because he's just like, I just want to get out of here. I want to do something different. There's got to be more to life than just, meditation and peaceful discourse. And like most adults, there are certain things that he rebelled against just out of the principle that this was what his parents were doing. So he didn't really establish an identity outside of them. And so when he goes off to war, he starts seeing that he can get really angry to a point where it's almost uncontrolled. And he realized that he hated that part of himself. And so he began to really understand more what his parents had been trying to teach him since his youth about the fact that there is balance. Just as there is real good in the world, there is also potential for real evil. And so he saw a lot of the evils of war and things like that. And even during one of the fights he was in, there was a girl that got killed. And when he tried to defend her, of course, she was in battle, and he tried to defend her life. But of course, when the story started being told, you only saw a portion of the battle, and the next thing you know, you saw him carrying her out. And so people assumed that he had been the one to kill her, even though he was trying to protect her and keep her safe. So then, in the course of time, her brother hears about this, and her brother goes through a ritual where he starts having his body messed with in unnatural ways in order to become a warrior befitting of killing this cold-blooded killer that he's been told about. Well, of course, by the time he gets prepared and goes after Harbinger, Harbinger is now a monk trying to, learn the ways of peace and, not only learn the ways of peace, but learn more of defensive style of martial arts and things like that, trying to find ways to fight without fighting. And so to not allow that anger that he had in him to come back out. And so you see, of course, kind of where the story is going to go is that the person that's after him, he actually, calms him down and tells him the real story behind what he heard. And he finds out that there was a bear that was sent. It's like a werebear. Basically, a group of werebears were sent in and attacked the battalion that they were in, and so he and his friends are trying to defend them, and the one girl gets caught in the fight, and she gets clawed really bad, and he tries to stop the bear from doing it, and he almost really loses his cool to the point of murdering the bear. Before he realizes what happened, the bear kind of runs away in fear because of what he sees in his eyes, and so then they kind of leave, and he carries the girl back, with the people not realizing, of course, that it was a bear claw that got it. It was bear attack that killed her, not him. But in their minds, because he still was dealing with that anger that was still emanating out of him, that he basically ends up carrying her in, and they think, well, he must have killed her. He must have killed her in a fit of rage. And so when the story is going out there, this assassin finds out, and so that's why he goes through all that trouble to try to get to him, not realizing he's trying to become a different version of himself as he's become. So that's the baseline of the story for Harbinger. He carries a staff. He fights with a staff, fights a bow staff, fights with different styles of martial arts that he will continue to learn. And like I said, continue to find ways to center himself spiritually as well as physically. Even though he's a big guy, he doesn't want to fight unless he absolutely has to. But when he has to fight, he's always trying to rein in that just cut looseness of it all. He's trying to be very controlled, very, he's paying attention to how he's breathing even whenever he's fighting and things like that. So that's the basic story of Harbinger. Do you guys have any questions? Any thoughts?
But why Harbinger? But who Harbinger? But what Harbinger?
But how?
But how Harbinger?
Okay.
Will, do you think? I don't know. Do you see much of that backstory come to fruition anytime soon?
I mean, he can always just have this character
and then just take it into other campaigns.
Take it into other campaigns.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just basically trying to set the backstory up for the character that we're kind of coming into the world in. Like when he comes into this world, he's kind of gone through this battle. He's gone through the initial stuff, realizing that he needs to calm the anger that's within him. Mm-hmm. So he's already kind of come to that point. By the time he gets with the group, basically, he's kind of. This is where my story that I'm telling is more of. This is before he gets to the adventure. Mm-hmm. And he'll be struggling with those things while he deals with that, of course. But he will still be trying to focus on those things and learn additional things to try to help him be a better individual, be a better person. Mm-hmm. By the way, if you look in the chat, you should see pictures of some of the cards for the Godzilla stuff I was talking about.
I saw it.
Yeah, right on.
They look cool.
Because it's Godzilla.
Yeah. And the art looks good.
So, but like, if you'll notice, underneath their names, they actually have other names under them.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's alternate art for those characters. So like, you can't have that character and Godzilla in there because it's technically the same character, even though it's not. One is just the alternate art of the other. So.
Right. Well, it also depends on the monster, because you can have like certain monsters you can have as many as you want. It all depends on what's limited and what's restricted and whatnot.
In all these cases, these are alternate arts for, in most cases, legendaries. Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but most of them are legendary creatures. So I know like the Dukas is a regular creature. You can have 4 of it. But again, you can't have 4 of it and then have 4 of because the name of the creature that's under it is basically it. You're basically replacing that one with that one. So yeah. But then there's another legendary Godzilla. I believe the Rodan is legendary. The Space Godzilla Void Invader, which is the new name, is not legendary, and neither is Godzuki. So
I like that Godzilla is the red-green.
Yeah, well, it's different. One of them, of course, is the Bio Quartz one, and it's the blue, two, and then black, green, and blue.
Yep, black, green, blue.
You could have some fun. If you're into the world of Commander, you could definitely have some fun trying to build some Commander decks around these guys. Be kind of interesting. But anyway, so that was my story as far as that goes. Like I said, backstory more so than anything, so that way by the time it gets in here, you guys kind of understand what he's kind of gone through, and then as you all build the adventures, put him in some situations where maybe he has to deal with the fact he's gonna have to kind of cut loose a bit because of what's happening, or how is he gonna rectify that? Those are the type of questions.
Right, and this is all stuff that's good for role-playing purposes.
Yeah, and the only reason why I ask that is because there are a lot of times when people will create a character for a one-shot just assuming that they're going to be able to have all of this pay off during the one-shot. And I'm not saying that you're one of those people, Will, but that does happen, and I just want you to be aware of that.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, it's very possible. I get that.
Yeah.
It's very possible that, that I could create it and be like, I really don't know that I want to run the monk.
Yeah, actually.
But then I'd be like, so at that point, it's just like, now I got to create a whole new character. Now I got to create a whole new backstory. Mm-hmm. But, I think it also helps me kind of commit to at least running them for a little while to see where it goes.
Yeah. And you see, it's kind of like how you were kind of already touching base on it, and that was just because you won't be able to have like the big story payoff for your character in this one shot doesn't mean that you can have touches and hints of it while you're role playing. It doesn't mean that you can't have parts during the one shot where he's actively struggling with his rage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I almost think, and I don't know how the game would represent this, but it's almost like his rage is almost, I'm not going to say Saiyan-like to the point where he's shooting laser beams and stuff out of his hands and things like that. But it's almost to the point where he doesn't care about living or dying. The goal becomes the goal. Like, if a creature is there, it's like, it's going to kill us all if I don't do something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It kind of switches gears from, I've got to be my best, I've got to do this, to I'm going to kill that thing because otherwise it's going to kill us. And I don't care who I have to take out in order to get it done. I'm going to do what it needs to be done to take care of that creature, type thing. So,
yes,
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about the best character that's going to be in the one shot.
Really quick, Smiter's just like we've dealt with other kids where we've been like, okay, this is just a one shot. Yeah. We're not going to continue it.
Yeah.
And then we've had a couple of kids that have...
let Jingles tell you about these kids, and I'll tell you about other players.
No, that's not the kids. I mean, yeah, the just from what we've done together, little brother.
Yes.
There have been other players that have like this long and drawn out like thing for their characters, and then it's never brought up again because it was just a one shot.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if those characters even exist anymore.
Yeah.
In the case of like Garath was going to be just a one shot character.
But we love him.
And then Smiter became our full-time DM and created a full campaign that we're still going through.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, well, I want to use Garath for the full campaign. And we're like, great. And everybody's completely fallen in love with him.
Yeah.
Not just me.
Yeah.
But everybody loves him. And same with like
howdy.
With our pal Josh, he created a character that he's been having a lot of fun with as well.
Yeah.
But like for the purpose for some of the
sorry, please continue. I'm going to make a point with Pie Man.
Yeah, for some of the other characters that were in the one shot, they didn't carry over to the full campaign that we're playing right now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that. Go ahead.
But and so Smiter was just trying to be like, look, you don't want to like put too much effort into it, but honestly, since this is your first time playing Pathfinder, I know for a fact that you're gonna get a taste of Pathfinder and be like, I want to play this more.
Yes.
And so it's good that you have backstory stuff for this character, so that you can use him later if you want.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so that's...
And I mean, the thing about that's nice too is that'll help with episodes in the future going forward if we say, okay, we want to do another module together as a group and kind of do it that way.
Which there are some modules that we have here that we could do if we feel like it.
What's that?
We have other modules here that we can do if we feel like it.
Yeah. Maybe. But Jingles is right. You and the Crafted Cosplayer are going to just get a taste of this, and you guys are going to want more. I know for a fact that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But Jingles made a really good point about sometimes you create a character for a one-shot, and it doesn't carry over. Pie Man created this one character, a wizard, for our one-shot that we did with Garath, Josh's character, and a bunch of other characters.
Yep.
And when we finally decided to do a big, larger, ongoing campaign, Pie Man dropped that character because he was like, I feel like I'm sort of spinning the wheels. Like, I don't have anywhere else to go with that guy. Mm-hmm. And so he created a new character, a paladin, who I love.
I love him, too.
I love him, too. He's a great paladin who is extremely righteous, extremely true, and is just so ready to kill some heretics.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's a nice guy, but what's great is that Pie Man role plays him in a way where he's informed about things, but he's not all that informed about things.
Right.
He's ignorant to the world, but he's read about cultures and stuff.
Right.
And what he likes to do, one thing that Pie Man likes to have his character do is that he'll stop to explain the culture around him.
Yeah.
And he's wrong.
And he's most often wrong about what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, the when they went to go visit the bears for the first time in the bear village.
I made a bear village, by the way.
Yeah, he made a bear village that's where Garath's home village is.
Yeah.
And he was all like explaining like, you see the bears, they do this and
he was super wrong.
And it was completely incorrect, but Pie Man plays it well. He knows how to play characters contrary to the knowledge that he himself actually knows.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, I think, one of the funnest things about Pathfinder and D&D.
Yeah.
Is just so Garath is very ignorant of the world.
Yes.
You know, he's lived in this very secluded village his entire life.
Yeah.
And so there are certain, like, polite society things that he just doesn't understand because he's never been exposed to it before.
Yeah.
A common thing that I like having Garath do is when he's in conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
And he is done with the conversation.
Like in his mind.
In his mind, he's finished. He doesn't say goodbye. He just turns and just starts walking away.
Yeah.
Even if the person that he's talking to is not done talking yet.
Yeah.
And so, and that's one of the things that I like to do. I love playing Garath because he is a simple character.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one of the things that I really enjoy about him.
All right, listen, everybody, do me a quick favor. When you get done listening to this episode of Conversations About ... do me a favor, go check out Mythos Podcast, done by the Rascal Brothers themselves. They get into geek stuff with them and their friends, and they talk about a lot of geek things. They talk about anime, Star Wars, you name it. They're going to talk about it. After that, do me a favor and check out the Craft and Cosplayers Podcast, where she talks not only Xena, but she talks geek stuff as well. So go check both of those out for me. Those are some awesome podcasts that you need to check out. And thank you so much for continuing to rock with us here at Conversations About ... And go check those podcasts out as well. Thank you so much. And I'm sure they'll appreciate it as well if you follow them up. Take care.
Smiter and I had this funny little idea where we would we had in mind this idea of like them going to this town where there's like a murder that happened.
Yeah.
And for some reason the people like hired Garath and his friend Tavarius.
I love the idea. Just
to kind of like
for some reason.
For some reason. We don't know the reason because this is just a hypothetical anyway. Yeah. But they want them to figure out what happened. And we role played like this thing where Garath is like talking to the jury, and it's all like talking about the defendant, and him saying like, now you see, it is impossible for the defendant here to have killed his neighbor because they are neighbors, and that ain't a neighborly thing to do. I digress.
And then he goes back over and sits down on the bench, content with himself.
Yeah. Like there's no way. Why would you want to do something like that to your neighbor? That's not neighborly at all.
No.
So that's the kind of things. That's the kind of things I like to do with Garath and role play with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why it's fun to play ignorant characters.
Yeah.
And characters that just don't understand things. Like Garath has an average intelligence, but he's not very world knowledged. So that's kind of the way I wanted to play him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's great. I love talking about Garath.
I love talking about Garath too.
And
I do like. I think part of the reason why I wanted to get down with this is because I remember when you guys posted up in the group about the design for Garath. I was just like, I like Garath. I like just the kind of. He almost reminds me of what's the is it the Country Bears?
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
It kind of reminds me of that idea, you know. So I saw it. I was just like, I could have some fun one day sitting down and drawing like some big bad that like would try to come in and take over Garath's village or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. I don't know that I would ever be able to do that or be allowed to, but you know, I think it'd be fun to try.
There'd have to be an exceptionally good reason for him to want to do that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are his people being bad?
Yeah, like what? Why would a big bad want to take over this hidden bear village that's secluded from everything and doesn't even like? They don't know the concept of money in this village.
It's not that. It's less about that they don't understand. It's that they don't appreciate it the way the rest of the world does.
Right.
Because they understand exchanging of goods and monetary gains. They have a polished barter system.
Yes.
But yeah, the moment you start introducing coin to them, they sort of shrug and just ask, "Why would I want that?"
Yeah, I can't eat that. Why would I want it?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't use that to build things with. Why would I want it?
That being said, these bears, a few of them have been known to waddle around the village in vests.
Yes. In little cute bear vests.
Like little vests that'll little button up and make maybe a bow tie or two because they want to look fancy that day.
Yes. They're in their Sunday best.
Yeah, I don't know. Bad guys' motivations are sometimes as simple as something like, wanting to find a village or something. Maybe he was an outcast of the village. I don't know.
But check it out. When Jingles was saying, why would a bad guy want to do that? I felt like jumping in and being like, yeah, why would a bad guy want to set up a story beat or a plot point that would bring the entire party back to Garat's village to save it? Said the DM, looking side to side and sweating. Yeah, why would a guy want to do? Because I'm Jingles' DM for all of this.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of plans.
Yeah, he does. See, what's cool about Snyder is that he has a lot of like little adventures that we do to kind of like, solve problems here and there around the world. But he also knows our backstories and is planning on introducing elements of our backstories to our characters as we play because he's a good storyteller like that.
Oh, I want it to be known that Smiter Roscoe knew how to play the long game.
Yes.
So, speaking of long games, cutting back to short games and this one shot.
Yes.
My character, her name is Carmella Casilia Romander de Leon. And she is a gunslinger.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is another character class that isn't in the core rulebook. But I'm allowing Smiter to do it because we have the book that has the information, and I just needed to copy-paste it into the actual...
And I made her an SMR, but to be honest, I might just switch back to human.
Okay.
And because SMR feels a little too special, and plus we already have one in the party.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to switch her to human. But anyway, think Carmen Sandiego meets Esmeralda meets Revolver Ocelot from Metal Gear. Now, Revolver Ocelot, I don't know a lot of people. I don't know if you know that character, Will, but not everybody does.
Okay, I know. And again, my Metal Gear knowledge is nowhere near as great as you all's. I played mostly the PlayStation Metal Gears, and I think I might have played a little bit of Snake Eater. So,
okay, Revolver Ocelot is in both the PlayStation 1, Metal Gear Solid 1, and in
I can
Metal
tell
Gear
you
Solid
from
3.
memory which ones he's all in.
All of them.
Yeah. He's in almost every single one.
Every MGS, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is he like the dude with the is he like the other dude with like the big mustache with the revolvers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Never mind. I'm good.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, she's like a combination of all three. She has this massive red duster that she wears, a big wide brim red hat. She has gorgeous brown locks. Oh no, she's got ruby hair now that I remember. She got these like ruby locks that are wavy and curl into themselves. She has green eyes, mocha skin, and since she's a gunslinger, she fights with pistols. And Jingles was cool enough to let me rock in with revolvers.
A single revolver.
A single revolver. For now. I'm going to build to 3 revolvers.
I'm going to have to buy them. It's going to be great.
But because a lot of people have this tendency when they're building their first characters and stuff to make them either the most vanilla or the most special character out there. I wanted to sort of dance that line in between because I don't know what number she is in my character creation list. I haven't ever stopped to think about how many characters I've created for Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons, but She's somewhere way down the line. And so for this
Okay.
one, I wanted to make it that she came from a relatively well-off family. So she grew up educated. She grew up smart. But she always felt unfulfilled and always wanted to have a sense of adventure in her life. But she kept feeling stifled and frustrated with her upbringing. And then eventually, she met a very nice young man, a traveling tinkerer. And his thing that he would like to do is that he would like to make watches and other like music boxes and other complex contraptions. But there was one thing that he was working on that interested him the most, and it was this revolver that he was building. And so they spent, a couple of years getting to know each other, becoming friends, becoming lovers. They eventually got married. She traveled with him, got to see more of the world. Not all of it, they didn't go traveling from nation to nation and stuff like that. He wasn't even world famous. He was just very good. And they survived on, and she also learned parts of the trade, how to be a tinkerer as well.
Okay.
And they started living their lives, and eventually her husband finally completed the pistol. And they started doing demonstrations for nobles, asking who wanted to buy it, and so that they could defend themselves a little bit better. And unfortunately, one day there was this one noble that struck her husband as incredibly, I don't want to say ill-tempered, but ill-willed towards the rest of his neighbors. He wanted to use it for assassinations, to essentially dominate over others rather than defend himself. And I want to sort of flesh out more of those details because it feels a little too easy to just say he was a bad man. So I want to sort of work on those a little bit later, and who knows, I might.
Huh.
But regardless, the point is that her husband was murdered for this pistol, and it was stolen. And she decided to use the knowledge that she had from her husband to attempt to create her own pistol so that she can eventually have revenge. And she sort of developed this persona of this femme fatale, aloof woman who doesn't appear to be invested in the emotions of others to safeguard herself from allowing other people in. Because she's been hurt, she lost the man that she loves, and she's set on getting her revenge. And she's also set on playing the long game with it. She knows it's going to take time. She knows that she's not ready for it. So she's willing to take money she's willing to take money to support herself, and she's willing to take on dangerous missions because she knows that it'll give her the skills necessary to finally take this man down. And that's her story.
Interesting. Sounds like a lot of peril. Sometimes a little bit more of a risk taker than my character would be normally because he doesn't want to lose control of his emotions. So whereas your character feels like she would jump into the fire she would definitely jump into the fire just to, get that better experience to do what she needs to do for revenge.
Yeah, basically.
Most interesting. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to do my best to have her talk like a Southern belle. Or maybe I'll give her a Cajun accent.
So let me tell you what I'm seeing as you talk about this character. I'm seeing like Carmen Sandiego influence with a little bit of Lara Croft, influence with a little bit of Rogue, kind of rolled up into one person.
Now, what's weird is that I just said I'm not going to give you that hard of a time. Well, I just said Carmen Sandiego, Esmeralda, and Revolver Ocelot.
I know. I understand what you told me, and I remember what you told me. I'm just telling you what I see in my head as you described it.
He heard what you said. He's just gonna disregard it. I'm just kidding.
I'm not disregarding it. Just saying. I don't know why. It's just like I'm visualizing the visual look of her, and then kind of the thing at the end. We talked about the Southern Belle accent or the Cajun accent. You know, because of course then it's like, well, could be Rogue, it could be a bit Gambit infused, but that's neither here nor there.
Honestly, so. I really drew back on the Cajun accent because I think like maybe a year or two ago I was rewatching parts of the 90s X-Men and just listening to Gambit's lines again. I was like, that is the smoothest dude I've ever seen in my life.
It's very smooth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love Gambit.
Like that. Like here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. Was when he and Rogue are getting into an argument and he gets into a car with her and she says, "Don't you ever get tired of hearing yourself talk?" And he says, "Nah, when I'm talking about you." And I was like, "Oh,
nice."
You just fan yourself a little.
Again.
Yeah, I was like, Gambit.
Oh.
Gambit got that slick gene down.
Oh yeah,
he does.
He got some slick. You know. Anyway, guys, I greatly appreciate talking with you about the characters for the Pathfinder world that we're going into at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I know, you know, there are a lot of things we could talk about, but like I said a while back, you know, especially with what's going on right now, I want to try to make sure we're keeping things lighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as much as we can. So, like, I don't want to do a whole episode on coronavirus and the effects on the world. Although I don't want to talk about it for a whole episode.
Right.
Agreed.
You know, so it's just like, So, you know, it's kind of a weird space because right now with a lot of geek stuff, I mean, a lot of stuff stopped. Mm-hmm. TV shows have stopped being produced. I mean, you know, there's different things that we're kind of seeing what kind of ideas we can work with to do future shows. I'm not saying we're done. I'm not saying I'm done talking. I'm not saying that I've run out of ideas completely, but my main thing, like I said, is just to bring you stuff that's lighthearted that you can enjoy during this tough time.
Right.
To quote the brothers Rasco, both what they've said, you know, just want to create something to entertain you. You know, above all else. So.
Thanks, Will.
Anyway, hey, you guys are the reason this whole thing started, if we're honest. Because y'all kept coming to me and going, well, hey, you know, what if we did this? What if we did this? And this is like, okay, let's do it.
Fair enough.
And so here we go. So anyway, it's been an honor and privilege as always to be on with the Rasco brothers. And I know this is a shorter episode than most, but we really wanted to just kind of give you a little bit of a lowdown on the characters for the Pathfinder that we're working on for the future show where we sit down and do an adventure together. Mm-hmm. And then go from there. So I want to kind of hype you guys on that. So hopefully when that happens, you'll kind of have something to go in on who you're dealing with, you know. So
right, yeah.
Anything else you guys would like to discuss before we roll out?
I wanted to say that you were mentioning artists and stuff doing commissions and things like that. I myself am looking into pricing and stuff like that to see about opening up digital commissions sometime in the near future. Not sure yet.
Okay.
Because I'm so focused on making all this art for the other D&D groups that I've started all of a sudden. Because I've been really wanting to give these kids like the opportunity to
positive exposure to it.
A positive exposure to try it out because they've heard about it, they were interested in it, have never tried it before, and I wanted to give them the opportunity to try it out, get them hooked, and then hopefully have them as obsessed with it as we are.
There you go.
And because it's so much fun and it's a good time with friends, and it's just an all around good time. So I'm doing that. I'm gonna look into see about opening up commissions eventually. I'm sure I'll announce that on
hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. But I should do it on Twitter, which I now have 100 followers on Twitter. So That's cool. I'm thinking about doing a...
I'm squinting. Is that good?
It's more than 0.
Hey, that's good.
That is good.
Hey, look. Hey, look, I have 150 official followers on my YouTube channel, and I'm over here dancing the Neutron dance. I'm just saying, and I mean, the fact that I really hadn't posted a video since last year up until, about a week ago, really, I'm glad to have that 150.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm just going to be pouring into more stuff as time goes on and trying to do more videos and stuff like that to get back in the habit of doing videos on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds great.
So.
I also want to get back into the habit of doing videos because I haven't for a while, and I'm the only one that's working on the videos, so I got to do it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I get that.
And also we're going to be recording another episode of Mythos Podcast later today. So,
what's the topic?
It's kind of a
general discussion.
What's been going on. We're going to be talking about the games that we've been playing lately and kind of the things that we've been doing since this whole shutdown and stuff. And I'm going to be talking about also the kids playing for the first time D&D and how that went.
Yep.
It was my first time DMing, so that was fun.
It was terrible.
Absolutely.
You should DM again.
I should never ever DM again.
Stop looking at the Pathfinder books right now.
I can't.
You're sullying their memories.
No. But
all right.
Yeah, we'll be talking about stuff like that.
Cool. So I'll have a question.
All right.
Please.
For you. I'll make sure to put that in before you guys get started. That way I'll have it. I'll send you a message saying you got it. Always, I greatly appreciate you. I believe this is officially our shortest episode.
I think so.
Probably.
And that's cool and awesome. All right. Well, gentlemen, where can the people find you in the land of the social media stuff?
I, Jingles Roscoe, am on Patreon as Jingles Roscoe, on YouTube as Jingles Roscoe, on Twitter as Jingles Roscoe, on DeviantArt as Jingles Roscoe. Those are the best places to locate me if you so choose. I don't go on the DeviantArt very much anymore, but that's just because I just haven't been feeling like it. Most of my attention's been elsewhere. I help out with a friend's Discord server, but Smiter and I don't have our own Discord server, so I can't recommend that because it's not ours.
Mm-hmm.
But
we should probably make one eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Eventually. Not anytime soon, but eventually.
But yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Patreon. Go check us out there. I posted the pictures of all of the characters from the kids campaign on my Patreon for free. It's not locked behind a paywall or anything. You can go and check out the pictures. You can download them if you want. They're free on there.
But you should open up commission soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm seeing I'm getting the pieces put together for that.
Okay.
And you, brother.
Oh, and you can find me at this point, most likely waist deep in the sewer level. Don't know why, but there are so many giant spiders spawning. I just left the room. Why are there so many more giant spiders here? And all I have is this greatsword and a revolver in the other hand. You can find me struggling to maneuver the waist-deep, whatever sort of green mess this is I'm standing in.
At least it's not giant alligators.
That's true.
That was the thing. Especially in New York, there were the urban legends that baby alligators are getting dumped into the sewer systems through the toilets because parents didn't want them anymore. So then they grew up and began to eat everything that came into the sewage, including the workers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
So
that's not an urban legend. That's true.
Yeah. I saw it. He was in Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Bam. There we go. All right, and you can find me on, first of all, if you haven't already checked it out, what are you waiting for? You should be totally going to the Conversations About ... Facebook page, where I just put up a deal asking people to give me ideas on 6 people that have the whole, 6 little small drawing challenge that's been going on. So I decided I would probably do a little cleaning and then do that this evening. So I'll put that up there. I've got a couple of people making suggestions on it, but I don't think I have a full 6 suggestions yet. So, if you haven't gone to the fan page, do that. That'd be great. Again, great way to engage the community, and so get the conversation going. So that's there. Then also on the YouTube, on the Big Will Holland for YouTube channel, go check out the latest video where I drew Harbinger uh, for you guys, so that way you can see me put them together and kind of talk a little bit about his backstory. Uh, kind of figured I was going to save some of this for later, so that's why I put it here. So here you go on there, and Instagram and Twitter, Will Holland 9973, and there you go. So thank you guys as always for listening. Appreciate you greatly, and above all else, no matter where you are, no matter what the situation is, keep doing your social distancing, keep doing the stuff you need to do to make sure that other people are healthy and you are healthy as well. Don't fret. Eventually, we're going to be on the other side of this. When? I don't know. I am praying for as soon as possible, but we'll see. So, above all else, guys, be blessed, be a blessing to somebody. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, men and women, children of all ages, you're about to experience the opportunity to get in on the conversation. So do me a favor, join the conversation as you're about to step into the world of conversations about ... I hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, first of all, happy Easter to one and all. This is your Easter episode of Conversations about ... I am Will, but I am not alone. Who is with me today?
Today, it's the Roscoe brothers, headed by today, because I got special permission to do it, because I've been a good boy this week.
He has been.
Smiter Roscoe.
I am also here, and I am Jingles Roscoe.
The elder brother who gave me permission to do this, because I've been a good boy this week.
He has. He got his lollipop earlier, so...
I did, and I have my icy, I have my candy, and I am ready to have a good time. Who else is here with us?
Hey guys, it's the Crafting Cosplayer!
Crafting Cosplayer is back.
I'm here.
Back and ready to go. Good deal. All right, so everybody's here. Happy Easter to you one and all. Where you fall on the spectrum of Easter. I just want to let you know that we appreciate you and thank you, first of all, for listening to the show.
Yes.
Number one, in a world that has gone interesting, I'm not going to say gone crazy, but I'm just going to say gone interesting. Because, we've had stuff in the news this week like Ezra Miller, that was the Flash, deciding to choke out a person at a club. We've had, the comic book industry just continue to go through these weird things. We've had, Marvel movies get backed up, basically a whole set of movies. Basically, Black Widow took the Eternals dates, and then everything shifted back forward, so to speak. And so that's kind of how that thing is. In a world of uncertainty, we're glad to be something you can listen to. And more importantly, that you can listen to and get your news, thoughts, geekdom, stuff like that. And so we just want to say thank you for tuning in, first of all. And we want to pick up where we left off on last week's show, because on last week's show, we were talking about Pathfinder characters, and the Crafting Cosplayer is also involved in this, but she wasn't able to be here last week. So we wanted to let her talk about her character for the Pathfinder campaign that we're going to be doing soon, hopefully. So Crafting Cosplayer, take it away.
Yeah, I totally spaced on what day of the week it was last week, and yeah, I missed it. Sorry, guys.
You're here now.
Yes, I'm here now. So, my Pathfinder character is Skyrah. Since we're doing a, like a one-shot, I figured I would use a character that I already had established. Skyrah is from my Bard Tales stories, which I am going to actually be doing a quick read through of my story and make sure that there's nothing too messed up with it grammar wise. Make sure all my spelling's correct, and I'm going to actually be putting it on Amazon and offering it for free during this pandemic. So look out for that. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to be
Right
soon.
on.
Okay.
So that way y'all can kind of get a little bit of a feel for her world.
Alright.
So
Cool.
Skyrah, in my story, Skyrah is the daughter of Snow White and Apollo. And she is also the wife of Rapunzel, but we've already kind of talked about this being pre-Rapunzel, because I'm pretty sure that her and Smiter's female character are probably going to have a thing, because when I was listening to Smiter's...
Are we? Are we gonna have a thing?
Why
I
not
think
just
Why
we're
is
gonna
she
have a
deciding
blossom
this?
naturally, huh?
What was that?
Why not just let things blossom naturally?
Right? Why can't we be friends first?
Okay, listen here. She's gonna hear her sob story. She's gonna hear her talking about, her husband being killed and all this. So she's gonna hear all this, and she's gonna gravitate right towards her, because that's just how
dang.
Skyrah
Oh
rolls.
man.
Oh man.
Bold of you to assume
Like-
that Smiter's character is actually going to open up right away.
I know.
Maybe you're going to have
Listen,
to pry her open.
Ooh.
Skyrah has a way of getting people to talk.
It's true. She
I was-
has huge charisma.
I was about to
she's
say,
a
I was
bard.
really hoping she would have just said, like, now listen, Skyrah has a +5 to her charisma. She can convince anybody of anything.
She has a high charisma.
She's
I don't think it's
got really
+5,
good
but it's fine.
charisma. She can make anybody talk.
Nice.
Oh my.
I just love the idea
She's-
of, oh, well, hang on, can we be friends first? And Candace is all like, listen here.
Somewhere
Don't
I see her.
understand.
I see her pointing the finger, going, "You listen to me."
Jeez, all right, hey, I'm sorry.
Listen here, guys. Okay, she's very charismatic. She's a bard. She
Very
is,
cool.
Yeah, she is part god, so she's got her stuff together. She can make anybody talk about anything that she wants them to talk about, because that's who she is, and she's got that good charisma. She's got some major points there. So I think that she's going to be able to get everybody to open up, and she's just going to have some fun. She's going to definitely have a lot of fun with the characters.
So, if you'll excuse
She
me for a
sounds like the
second,
goddess of manipulation there.
I'm gonna.
She's the
you'll
daughter of Apollo, guys. Apollo is like second to only Zeus.
So Apollo doesn't exist in Pathfinder. If
Wow.
anything,
Yes, I know.
if anything, she's
I'm
like
aware
what, the daughter
of
Bahamut?
this.
Bahamut?
Well, not Bahamut. It wouldn't be
It
Bahamut
wouldn't
because
be Bahamut.
Bahamut is the silver dragon.
Right. Well,
And-
she is an Asari.
An Asimar.
Asmar.
Yeah.
Asari.
Sorry.
Idiot.
Yeah. No,
My
no,
mind-
that's from
I
Massacre.
haven't finished my coffee yet.
No, I hear you. I'm. What's funny is that
Asimar.
like while Candace is explaining, she's all like, "I'm gonna be able to convince her to open up, and they're gonna fall in love." And I'm all, and I'm
Yes.
looking at my like whiteboard of to-do list with my character, and one of them is like marked for what is it? Long form storytelling and relationship development. And I'm just gonna take a big long, just draw a big
Just
long line through all of
Strike
that.
through that real quick.
I guess they're lovers now.
It's gonna happen.
This guy. I love the
Wow.
idea. What I want you to do also with that, Candace, and this is all in sincerity when it comes to playing Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
When it comes to stuff like that and goals that you have for your character, whether or not they're that or any other like long-term character development goals for your character, keep that in mind. Pour into it. It could be fun. It could be one of those things where it's all like, because just because I'm on board with the idea doesn't mean that I'm going to have my character immediately do that. Because I'm a big fan of long-form storytelling, and I like things to sort of naturally develop over time. And it's like the big thing that sucks is that we only have a one shot to do this. So there's a really big chance that we're not even going to be able to touch on any of this. But I like you sharing your goals and stuff. Like, for example, I was thinking about Will's character, Harbinger, and I was thinking it'd be pretty cool to have like a quiet moment between my character and his character where we're just sitting around a campfire, and for a moment we identify with one another over the common ground of we're both people of violence that have had violence pushed on us. And so now that comes out of us back into the world. And so there can be a moment where we both sit there quietly and lament, how do we get out of that? And that's what I was thinking about for later. Again, these are my long-term ideas, but I'm also holding on to them loosely enough to be all like, I mean, it's a one-shot. I mean, we can probably just tease at ideas about that, but, we'll see. Sorry, Candace, please continue.
It's okay. So basically, Skyrah is everything that I wish I could be. She's extremely confident. She's comes from a background of people who are, they're like, in my original story, she comes, she's the daughter of Snow White and Apollo, and she is from an Amazon village. Her mother, Snow White, is an Amazon queen. So if you know anything about Bard Tales, it's all about telling stories that are fairy tales as if they were Amazon, women telling them to their children. So there's a lot of Greek mythology and everything, and a lot of different stuff going on with it. But she's everything that I really wish I could be. Just super charismatic, super open, not afraid to get in and go after what she wants in life. Not afraid to do anything. Like, she's literally everything that I wish I could be. Just like the truest form of what I wish I could be. She's just this amazing character that I completely connected with and instantly fell in love with when I was writing Bard Tales.
Okay. I know, I totally get that. And what's ironic is that so many people's first characters are one of two things. They're either the safest choice that anybody can make, like it's John Plainman in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, or it's somebody's self-insert character. And I am so guilty of doing something similar when I did my first Pathfinder campaign and experience. Jingles can remember this. I basically tried to make my character named after me, and we made it. Jingles was cool enough to make it that like our characters were brothers, and I tried to make mine so much like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. It was dumb.
It was dumb.
It was so dumb.
I think we mentioned that in our tabletop gaming episode on Mythos podcast.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just interesting to me because I can't tell you how many characters I've actually made for Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder, but with every single new character and every single new attempt, I try to change the mold. I try to reinvent new things with it. And because of that, I end up coming up with characters like the one I just came up with.
Right. And with me, obviously my first character was also mostly a self-insert, but like, I've never been too crazy. Like when I was much younger, I was all about like making superpowered like characters that are like me but better in every single way. And, you know, all this stuff. But somewhere I'd say like late middle school, early high school, somewhere around there, I started getting into the mindset of like just creating characters,
an actual character,
actual characters.
Hey guys, I'm gonna quickly be talking with my brother, who's deployed. So I'm going to sneak back over. If you guys want to talk about something else, and we'll get back to this as soon as I get back.
Okay.
All right.
I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
So you were talking about characters. You talking about character building and such.
Yes. And I've tried to make more interesting characters, and like the campaign previous to this campaign was one that I was doing with Pieman, and I just was like, because I know everybody wants to make super powerful spellcasters and, you know, be like an elven wizard or whatever,
the chosen one in their own right.
Yeah, and
everybody's
and
the chosen
like
one.
Everybody wants that. And so the last campaign that I did before the one that we're doing right now, I just created just a barbarian, and it's just a regular human barbarian before, and he was just big, dumb, dopey, and it was Jingles the barbarian, but it wasn't me. It was a barbarian that was named Jingles. And I developed like quirks and stuff, character things that he would do that was like weird or whatever. And then later on, after that campaign, like we stopped getting together for that and we moved on. I had another friend that then was wanting to do a one shot, do a 24-hour thing for I'm trying to think. It was a charity event.
Yeah.
Where people stream for 24 hours a game of some kind, and then like get donations and stuff, and then send those donations to like charity and stuff like that. And the charity that we had was the Child's Play branch for St. Jude's Children's Hospital that we have nearby.
Sure, yeah.
Our closest one.
Yeah.
St. Jude's is a great organization.
It is. It's really wonderful and takes care of kids, and that's awesome. And Child's Play is great because they bring gaming consoles and stuff to the hospitals so that the kids that are there long term have games and stuff that they can play and stuff. And so it's that's kind of a charity that speaks to me personally. But anyway, we did a 24-hour stream, but because he was pretty much an unknown streamer, we only had like a couple people there and nobody really donated. But we played D&D there, and so that's when I had created the first iteration of Garath.
He was a meanie back then, wasn't he?
He wasn't really a meanie. He wasn't as like dopey and cheerful, and like he was essentially just a barbarian, and
a barbarian.
But it wasn't until and then I kept that character sheet for a while, and then Smiter suggested doing a one shot with us and our friends, and that's when I took kind of the rough stuff of Garath before and refined it and changed it, and changed him into essentially what he is today. And I've been using
Dopey
Garath,
nice bear,
a dopey nice bear, and dopey nice country bear.
Yep.
Because that's when I also like developed the voice for him and all that, and gave him his personality and stuff like that, and so I've been using Garath since then, and now he's at level 8, and he's real strong.
Yep.
And he's a fresh boy. And I love him.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing about character, you know, especially, you know, Spider was talking about the long-term goal, you know, the long game with character design and character building, because you want to be able to tell that story. I mean, I didn't know that I wanted to tell this kind of backstory for the character as for Harbinger until I sat down and just started drawing stuff one day. It was just like, wait a minute, there's a story coming out of this. Basically, Harbinger has a girl's brother that's looking for him that's went through some really pretty heinous training to become an assassin so that he could take out Harbinger because he had heard that Harbinger was a man of war. And so he had heard these legends of Harbinger that kind of been beyond what he really is, especially now. And so, he goes through these very bone-breaking, kind of rituals and things in order to become this hardened assassin. And Harbinger basically sets him down and explains to him that his sister died, but he was trying to save her life. He wasn't there to take it. And so, there was a battle going on. He was trying to stop the person, and then there was a process. She bled out and basically died, and he carried her back out, trying to get her to somebody to see if there's anything that could be done. But whenever people started talking about it, it was, oh, well, obviously he killed her. Looked at the rage in his eyes. Obviously he killed her for some reason. And so it's kind of that thing. It's very that old school misunderstood story, of what people say versus what really happened. And so how people can sometimes shape their lives around a lie. And so that's kind of the story that what about to tell with Harbinger, where again it's that idea of, okay, these legends, this whole hype about me is not really true. Now, here's where I was. I'm not that person anymore. I'm trying to be something different. I'm learning to be something different. I'm learning to be something better. But, you don't know that because you only know the stories. So you made your decisions based on what you heard. And so, it's kind of trying to see the difference in what can occur when change occurs for people. And so it's kind of the idea of Harbinger's story is that in spite of, the fact that, yes, he was a man of war, yes, he did do a lot of heinous things that he doesn't like to think about. I'm pretty sure Harbinger probably has nightmares about stuff that he's done on the battlefield that he still deals with sometimes. And so he sees the battlefield. He may sometimes smell the blood. I mean, he's very much, to me, he feels like a person that deals a lot with PTSD, but he doesn't, but for the most people, it's a silent suffering. It's not something that most people are going to know he goes through unless he, is just having a hard time and has to tell somebody because he just needs to talk and get it out of his system. So that's kind of the piece for him in that. But the story that I'm telling is more about the lies that people can tell and how they sometimes can shape people. And so that's kind of that idea with that. So now, Candace, was there anything else you wanted to finish up about your character that you didn't get to share with us earlier?
I think she still stepped away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought she was still on. Okay, so So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break and we're going to do Easter stories. We're going to come back and talk about stories from Easter for us.
Oh, sounds like she's back
at different points. And so
there she is.
Yeah, she's back.
Okay. So, all right, we're going to have to do some magic.
You wanted to share?
Yeah.
Huh?
Was there more about Skyrah that you wanted to share?
Basically just that she's extremely charismatic, she's extremely resourceful. Just basically everything that I wish I was, and I'm not.
Yeah, there was give me a sec. There was some other stuff. I was wrapping up to a point about the stuff I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Give him a second, guys. He needs to take something really quick.
Okay.
Okay.
In the meantime, who wants the patty cake? My hands are ready.
All right. So the patty caking.
Yes.
Let's see.
Patty
I have so many. The problem is, it's like I have so many things in my head. I'm trying to funnel down to something that's like quick that we can get out of.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I've got a question for Candace on her character.
Yeah.
Okay, ask me.
Okay, so she's a bard, and she has all this ability of charisma.
Yes.
How does she? How does she do battle? Or does she do battle? How does she? How does she? Is she? What kind of class does she fall into?
Well, she does have a she does have a um staff and a bone arrow set. So she can fight. I mean, she grew up around people that know how to fight. So it's not like she doesn't know how to fight. She just has an affinity for telling stories and just being super charismatic, which has a lot to do with who her father is,
Okay.
because she is part god. So since she has such a charismatic father and everything like that, kind of uh, steered her in that direction. You know, she can fight. She's not. It's not like she doesn't have the ability to fight. It's just that she's more comfortable with talking her way out of situations rather than, going in and beating people up if she doesn't have to.
Gotcha.
Cool. Unless Will was going to do a follow-up question, I was.
No, that was my question.
Oh no, that's a really good question. And I'm sure that sort of thing becomes apparent when she actually does start playing, because as a bard, her moveset, a lot of it is going to be buffing and debuffing, and with a little bit of ranged and melee combat, depending on how she wants to play it. Bard is extremely versatile. But I was gonna say, that sort of stuff we'll figure out like during gameplay. But because you've been very honest and very vocal about the fact that she's sort of your self-insert character. I was gonna say, yeah, that sounds like pretty par for the course. Almost everybody does that.
Yeah.
When they're doing their first characters. But I'm really interested to see after these characters, where you guys are going to go creatively the next time. Because for me it was.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that she's a self-insert character, because she's not like me in a lot of ways. Because she's, like, I'm very timid. I'm very shy. Like, I know you guys probably wouldn't know that just talking to me, because, it's really easy to talk to somebody when you're not face to face with them.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm really timid. I'm really shy. I'm, like, not extremely charismatic. I'm not, like, I can't go out and just, like, get whoever I want, be whoever I want, whatever. Like, that's just not who I am. So I wouldn't really say that she's a self-insert character, because she's everything that I wish I could be, but I'm not.
So let me specify on that a little bit. I guess self-insert is the wrong word to use, or the wrong phrase to use. But there are a lot of people that have a self-projected fantasy character. Like, with that original take on my first Smiter character, he was what I wanted to be. And Skyrah is obviously that for you as well. So I'm interested to see where you guys go with your next characters, and how you flesh them out, and you give them proper motives to why they are the way that they are, rather than this person is the child of this person has this done to them. I really like where Will's kind of going with his, because it's this sort of accused hero storyline, and I've seen it before, and I'm interested to see where Will is gonna go with it. Same thing with Skyrah. I want to know where she goes in terms of actually being a fleshed out character, because it's it's really easy to sort of get into that habit of just make them the way, like, you, but what you want to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's what,
there's a whole backstory to her in Bard Tales.
well, sure, but I'm eager to see how that reflects into the game, because with my character, I sat down and I thought about why is she the way that she is when she's around people, and even if that's even the truth of who she is, like my character projects this big air of confidence as well, but unlike Skyrah, my character uses it as sort of a safety barrier around herself. Truth is, she's scared, and she doesn't want to let people in. So she projects this outward appearance towards everybody, and that's her sort of safety blanket from the rest of the world. And
Yeah, where Skyrah just wants to let everybody in and just be there for everybody.
yeah, and so I invite you to think about, okay, cool, now where does that come from? Why is she that way? Did somebody... was it based on how she was raised, or did she learn a life lesson somewhere along the way?
Part of it is how she was raised, because she's raised to be a leader, because her mother is the leader of the tribe. So she's raised to be a leader. So she wants to let everybody in because she wants to be the best leader that she can be.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
So she's always trying to get people to talk and to be open and honest with her, because that's the best way to lead, is to be open and honest with everybody and try to figure out what's the best thing for the tribe.
Sorry,
and
yeah. No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just remembering something.
Yeah, and in the story, she actually does something crazy, or at least what you would think would be crazy, for the betterment of the tribe, because her grandmother was actually killed by giants, and in order to save the tribe, she has to align with the giants to fend off Hera in order to save her tribe and to save Rapunzel. So she does the unthinkable. She puts everything that you would think that would be drilled into her that's bad, and she actually goes with that because that's the best option for her tribe.
So how does that translate into Pathfinder?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Because she's an extremely good leader, and she is doing everything she can for her tribe, and for her mother, because she wants to make her mother proud. It's not so much wanting to make her father proud, because she doesn't really care whether her father's proud of her or not, but she wants to make her mother proud, because her mom's this strong Amazonian queen. She's the leader of this amazing tribe. So everything has to do with wanting to be the best leader that she can be and to make her mom proud.
Okay. But I guess, I mean, specifically, how does that translate into Pathfinder? Because Hera is not in Pathfinder. Neither is Zeus, Apollo, or the Amazons.
Amazons can be in Pathfinder.
Are they? I don't think they are.
They can be.
Well, I mean, okay, you could homebrew an Amazon race.
Not even that. It's as simple as, like, you create a tribe of warrior women.
Warrior women.
It's simple.
That's easy. All right. So that's solved. But I'm wondering about the gods.
Well, that's where Aasimars are half celestial anyway.
Well, yeah, but I'm wondering about, because half celestial can be anything from a child of the gods or a child of an angel.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be some sort of where Hera is kind of like an evil angel, and her. Like,
there are
kind of like a Lucifer figure. Lucifer's an angel.
Yeah, but that's also a biblical thing and not Pathfinder thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's like,
I'm saying
yes, Hera.
angels.
Where's the stand-in for that in Pathfinder?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think we would go as far as to go for like the literal gods in Pathfinder so much
Okay.
as we would go with something more like there are celestials named Hera, Apollo, all these things, and they all live in the celestial.
Elysium.
They all live in the celestial plane
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
And one of those
That works.
celestials got with the queen of the Amazons.
And the list of celestials is big.
Yeah,
Like
well,
you can
can just
of
create
types of celestials.
Yeah.
There are so many. Like there are like 5 different types of angels. So that would not be difficult.
Yeah, it wouldn't be difficult.
Just
to
choose
write
like
in.
one, like 3 of the 5 types, and be like, yeah, that's Hera, that's Apollo, that's Zeus, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like that.
I've got another question now that's kind of out there and been talked about. So here's my big thing. We're talking about her being this leader. We're talking about her being this person that has sacrificed things and different things like that in order for her to not only make her mother proud, but also to try to lead well. What happens when you put somebody who has been groomed to be a leader in a ragtag group of people?
That's a good
That
question.
she may not necessarily be the leader of them at all, and they're not Amazons. And so, I mean, there's this.
But the best leaders can also be the ones that can step back and follow.
So, you know what? This is actually so poignant right now, and I want Jingles to determine how much of this he wants to spoil for you guys. But Karuk, something really interesting happened when you played that character. When it comes to leadership, and I was wondering if you could share that a little bit.
Right. Well, so in our main campaign, Pieman is usually like just because like a lot of the story is currently kind of focused around his stuff. Like the entire journey in our campaign, our regular campaign, it started because of Pieman's character needed to go and find adventurers to go and help out the queen of the country that we're all living in.
And what a motley crew they were.
And what a motley crew they were. And they got all the peoples and they got all together and they went to go on this secret mission to go and rescue a princess from something. We didn't know what it was.
Da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
It's okay. I knew because I was the dungeon master.
That's correct. And so Pieman was saying, like, guys, I'm not going to be the leader when we do the evil campaign. We're like, cool, that's fine.
And that's the...
it wasn't like we decided, like, Pieman's the leader. It's kind of like that's just the role that he needed to fill in.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that needed to go and get everybody. Nobody knows how to get to the capital. Nobody knows how to go and talk to the queen.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to do all this and that and the other.
But Pieman's character
But
does.
Pieman's character does. So we're
So
like,
he
cool.
just took the reins.
We're just going to go ahead and follow you then.
Nobody asked him.
Nobody asked him.
Yeah.
It just how it happened to go.
Yeah.
And in the case of the evil one shot, it just so happened that my character, Karuk, who is Dragonborn, is a dragon lizard man, he ended up being the leader of that particular
half
group.
dragon.
Half man, half dragon.
All badass.
All bad.
Oh, jeez, sorry.
And so it just happened to be that way. And so, like, I feel like if Karuk had been like, okay, I'm going to lead this group, I'm going to do this, you guys follow me, there would have been more dissension in the ranks as opposed to, like, it just so happened that Karuk just fell into this, like, leadership position. Because when we first started, I was expecting Karuk, and I'm going to kind of explain this in the video that I want to make about this eventually.
Okay.
Initially, when we were talking about our characters beforehand, I thought that my character was going to have problems with the character that our sister's boyfriend, Chance, was playing. Because he is a leader of his own tribe. Mm-hmm. And he is the head of this goblin group. Mm-hmm. And
they're all great.
Oh, man. The personality and, like, just like the ignorance that we
I'm
imparted.
not going to spoil anything, but let me just tell you, I'm not going to spoil eventually what they did, but just know that Karuk, he's a big half-orc.
No, you're Otha.
Otha, sorry. Otha...
He's not a half-orc, he's a full orc.
He's a full orc, and his favorite thing to do is to carry around on his chest 2 baby Bjorns, and in each of them is 1 goblin each. And those goblins are named Tick and Talk. And they have, they have explosives strapped to themselves.
Oh my!
They're great.
His signature thing was that he would take one of them and throw them at the enemy.
Just Tick.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to.
Oh no! Yeah, sorry. Yeah. He would take one of them,
yeah,
throw them at the enemy, and then they would explode.
Yeah, and that was like an attack of his.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Sarah the Rebel, and you're listening to Conversations About ...
So I'm assuming that there were different ticks and talks then, apparently, if he's throwing them to explode.
Well,
yeah,
it's a funny thing to
that's
that.
going to be a part of. I was going to explain that in the video.
We're not going to spoil too much.
I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah,
but
okay, fair enough.
Since he's a leader,
yeah,
and a leader of his own tribe,
not a very bright tribe, but a tribe.
Yeah. Like, I thought that my character was going to have difficulties with him following orders.
Right.
Right. Karuk, my character, was going to have problems with Otha, his character, following orders. But he did. And it surprisingly went really smoothly with him.
It was such a brief thing, too, because it went down to Karuk just saying, right, we're going to go and we're going to enter this building over here. And then everyone in the group saying, okay.
Yeah.
It would, there was nothing to it. They just...
they just followed.
And you see, that's the thing about the point that I was trying to bring up with leadership, about all of that. Bringing this all full circle, sometimes leadership never needs to be a thing that you determine ahead of time. Sometimes leadership just comes down to the person that made the first decision and seems to be the most sensible decision. And then that sort of just wins over the group. That was an excellent question, though, Will. And I want to say that I really don't want this to feel like I'm trying to pigeonhole your character, Candace. This is my way of being invested in your character. And I don't even need an answer for everything. I'm just asking questions to be all like, what do you think about this? And sometimes it could be something as simple as, I didn't think about that. I'll give it some more thought. Because, we're not going to... we're not playing yet. You still got time to think about it. And iron out more of the details.
We're going to play next week.
Yeah. Kind of like... no, right?
Golly gee, I better finish those characters.
Oh, golly. It was like when Will brought up his character and we sort of absorbed what he was throwing down. And I kind of got my own questions about that with Will's character. And I'm really curious as to the nature of his discipline itself that turned him into a monk. Because Will has carried on about his brother, was it?
No. The act that kind of shocked him out of wanting to be a person of war was seeing this woman die that he was trying to defend and couldn't save her. Right. And so that's kind of the thing that shocked him out of. He's like, this is not, when he walked away to be a warrior, it was more about him trying to do something different than what his parents did. Because his parents were very much the peacemaker types. There was influences in this ideal in his growing up. It's just that when he decided, I'm going to go do my own thing, I'm going to go get paid, I'm going to go become a soldier. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go learn the ways of fighting, I'm going to learn to do the good thing as far as fighting for my people. But he really got into it, hard. He fell, if there was a dark pit version of a soldier, he fell in it hard.
Sure.
And so it wasn't until he saw this woman that was I don't know that they really were friends. They were more like acquaintances in battle. But they had
Regardless, he
gotten
saw this
close.
tragedy.
Yeah, this tragedy was the wake-up call he needed to say, maybe the stuff that my parents were teaching me wasn't that horrible. And so now basically the pit that he was in, he's trying to get out of it.
Okay.
And so he was like, well, what's the most extreme thing I can do to get away from this life? Well, I'm going to have to go find a way to become a monk. So he goes to this small group and says, basically, look, I've been a person of war. I don't want this life anymore. What must I do?
Yeah.
Whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do it. But
Right.
I can't go back to that life. And so
Yeah.
it's more of seeing that woman die and kind of the fact that he could do, with all these accolades of battle that had been heaped on him because of his willingness to do whatever, he couldn't save that life.
Right.
I think that's really interesting.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm actually really curious as to the nature of his training. Like I just imagine Harbinger like rocks on his back trying to do fingertip push-ups and this little scrawny master like hitting him with a stick every once in a while.
I'm pretty sure his master is the type of master that he pushes him harder because of his size and his stature.
Fair enough.
He like, he like, I imagine there's the scene in Kill Bill where Beatrix is carrying the pails of water on either side. Right. It's very much 36 chambers. But what Harbinger doesn't know is that these huge buckets, I mean, we're talking like, okay, when I'm saying buckets for Harbinger, it's more like, and I can't think of the name of it. Like, that's huge
giant buckets.
But then the master is like dumping rocks into this before he fills them with water.
Yeah.
And so there's things that the master does, and it's not being mean-spirited. It's that he wants him to understand this is not going to be easy for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, there's a moment. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a test of will as well as strength.
Yeah, because there's a moment in there where, for example, like, the master moves, and he tells Harbinger, he says, you must block the sun. No matter where I am, you must find a way to block the sun. For 24 hours. Ooh. And so it's like there's these things he's constantly having to think quickly to try to find ways to keep, so that the master is never touched by sunlight for 24 hours. But he's constantly moving, and so there's like all this, it's a speed thing for him, and he's it's all these different things that he's doing to make him understand that he has to have the resolve to be better.
I really like the idea of this small martial arts master teaching this giant guy who's obviously strong and obviously very burly, teaching him speed and finesse. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like it takes the and I'm going to use a wrestling reference here because it's the only thing I can think of. If you remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mr. McMahon were supposed to fight, and there was a moment where Shane has him chasing the chicken.
Yes.
In order to train. But except in this case, the master would have him chasing 10 chickens.
Right, yeah.
It basically said, those chickens are for dinner. It's like, okay, I need you to go catch them and bring them to me so I can get them ready for dinner tonight. And you only have 3 hours to do this.
Yeah. Have you thought about what his master looks like?
I haven't drawn him yet, but I've got some ideas in my head.
Right on. That's all. That's all I was. That's kind of the big things I was really curious about. I just love this idea of this guy that has gotten by just using brute force and raw strength in combat to overwhelm his opponents, and having that single-mindedness to accept what's in front of him and to take any job that he can. Being taught this new way of thinking, of discipline and form and technique, and he's just struggling with it. It's kind of like it's kind of like a football player learning ballet.
Yeah, or dance. Because there's a lot of football players that do dance, but it's in both situations. It's for flexibility and speed.
Right.
You've got linebackers that are taking dance classes, and people would laugh, especially. But then it's like you realize why they're doing it. And I remember Reggie White talked about taking dance lessons for like 8 years of his life while he played football for the Green Bay Packers. And people would just laugh at him, like, "You're this big old dude. Why are you doing dance?" And he said, "Watch me on the field, and you'll understand."
Right.
Because I have to have that speed in order to do my job. I have to be able to finesse my way through a line so I can tackle a guy who's got a football. I have to be able to change my movement at a moment's notice. Because the guy that's being passed the ball, they may look like they're going to go this way, but then if they change the position play, and I've got to now shift my body in a very quick amount of time. That's just that, yeah.
I like that.
It's the stuff that you wouldn't expect, but for reasons that once he's out as a monk, once he's having to fight and defend other people. And that's the thing that the master teaches him too. He says, your fight should never be about fighting. Your fight should be about defending the lives of other people.
So, right before I toss on one more question to the both of you, let me ask this one last thing. So, would you say that the master taught him the art of fighting without fighting?
In that case, yes.
The art of fighting
I would definitely say
without
so.
fighting?
Without fighting, yes.
Without fighting?
That's one of my favorite quotes from Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. It's a Bruce Lee quote.
It is. So let me ask the both of you, did you guys have any questions or ponderances or queries about my character?
I want to know everything about your character because I just think
she's in love with your character.
I am in love with your character. I'm sorry.
Aww.
She wants to go makey outy on your character.
Nice. High five.
I think
Nice.
she's just so she just seems like such a strong person, and to have that kind of trauma connected with her and everything. I think that's going to be a really interesting layer to the character.
Yeah. She got that deep mocha skin.
Oh my.
Yeah, she does.
Which is the exact thing that Skyrah gravitates towards too, because she's just she wants to help everybody. She wants to fix everybody's problems.
Gotcha.
I have a feeling that might be more difficult for some.
Oh yeah. Because I honestly see, not right away, but I do see this sort of... I do see Carmella seeing Harbinger as something of a kindred spirit.
And I
in
like
a weird
that,
way.
I kind of like that my character and Harbinger's character, we have the opposite upbringing. Because his family is a family of peace, and then my family is a family of warrior women.
Yeah.
So it's the exact opposite. So I think that there's going to be a lot of I don't know, I don't want to say, well, I guess mirror parallels would be the best way to say it.
Well, just opposing views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I like the idea of Skyrah sort of looking at Will's character with perplexity and saying, no, we can make war, and war is absolutely necessary, almost all the time. And Will's character saying, yes, but we still need peace in order to, as a goal to eventually build towards. By the way, my character, completely different from both of yours, because she grew up from a state of privilege. She comes from a noble family, so she's known comfort and luxury when she was growing up. But she threw that all away to marry her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was very much a buttercup I almost said cabin boy. Stable Boy story.
Wesley.
Wesley. Buttercup and
My
Wesley.
darling
Wesley.
Wesley.
Yep.
Except he doesn't become the Dread Pirate Roberts.
He
Right.
dies.
He just dies.
He dies.
Yeah.
He
He
actually
dies.
dies.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
He's dead. And
I
that's
do
What
have a-
Buttercup would have become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buttercup
I do
would
have a
become
question.
gunslinger. No,
I
don't
do
you
have a-
remember? She just got depressed and then didn't do anything.
Yep.
This would be what Buttercup would have become if she didn't just become depressed and like felt like she just needed to
Now, Will had a
slip
question.
into sorrow.
Yes, I do have a question. Okay, so when it comes to the game, I know that's one of the things you keep saying is I'm interested to see what happens with the next character and how you flesh it out. For these one shots, do you suggest? And I'm not saying you suggest. I'm not saying you're telling us what to do, but do you suggest that
telling you
we
what
come
to do.
up with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well,
No, it's fine. Just a joke. Just a joke. Just a joke. Just a joke.
Okay. Well, okay.
That's when Candace comes in and says, "Listen."
Yep.
Listen.
So here's my question. Do you suggest us running through the one shot and then maybe going back to the drawing board and creating new characters if we want to continue? Or do you feel like it would be okay to continue with the characters that we've created for the initial campaign?
That is an awesome question. And as a DM, I know I'm sorry. I'm probably answering for Jingles, and I'll defer back to him.
How dare you?
I know. I'm sorry. I'll throw back to him after I've answered this. As a dungeon master that has done that for characters, I am extremely supportive of the idea of player choice when it comes to that, because Garath was brought in on a one shot. Garath, as we know him right now, was brought in as on a one shot.
Yep.
And all my players at the time, I told them, go nuts, pick any sort of character that you want, experiment, get crazy with it, but above all, pick something that you think you're going to have fun with. And Josh went with a kineticist at the time.
Psychic.
No, he was a psionist at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he changed his class over to psychic.
Yeah. Effectively, they were the same.
Yeah, they were very similar. It's just psionist was broken.
And also not an official class.
No. So,
Okay.
John, and here's it. So let me give you 3 examples about what happened. One, Jingles, he took Garath 1-to-1 from the one shot into the big campaign.
Yes.
Josh took his character, the character and the personality itself, into the big campaign, but changed his class.
Yeah.
And
an official class.
Yeah, it was not a difficult conversion. We made it work. Pieman completely dropped his character from the one shot and made a whole new character. Me personally, it all depends on where you feel like you can take this character. For me, it comes down to, okay, that was kind of fun. Like, I liked playing my character that was kind of just me, but super powered. Or I liked playing this character that was kind of easy to play, like a human male fighter that's super duper easy. But for later stuff, I want to try a new character. I want to try this other thing that's going on in my head. Mm-hmm. Although there are times where you're like, I've made this character so much fun to play, I just want to take this character everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. And that's going to depend on you guys.
Right.
Eventually, I encourage everybody to experiment with new characters along the way. And one-shots are perfect for that.
Right. Here's an example also. The actor, Joe Manganiello, has his own D&D session that he has at his own home. He created
Joe's so cool.
He created his own dungeon, and he has like a big table. It's a beautiful room.
Big Show plays.
I've seen it. It's gorgeous.
I said Big Show plays out of them. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of big burly dudes.
He has his character Archon the Cruel.
Yeah.
And he just brings that character, and he's been in multiple one-shots using Archon the Cruel because he loves him, and it's his favorite character.
He loves Archon so much that he had, like, as a birthday present from his wife, apparently she commissioned official, like, I don't know, like oil, was it oil art?
I don't remember.
It was like an official, like, high-quality painting of his character from
nice.
From the artist of Forgotten Realms.
Awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like one of the official, like the biggest official artists that they have for Dungeons and Dragons to do a gorgeous painting of his character, and she gave it to him for his birthday, and he was saying he almost cried.
Yeah, he loved it.
I would have cried.
But like that's an example of like a character that. Like, these characters that we've created here, you can hold on to them. Their character sheets are complete, and you can take them into other games if you want to.
Exactly.
Or, if you want, you can try starting with new characters.
Yeah.
I love Garath. I'm never, ever going to abandon Garath. I'm going to keep him forever for as long as I can keep him.
Yeah.
But I'm also open to creating new characters in case I want to try something new.
That's the big thing. If you still feel like you have some sort of investment or attachment to a character that you've created, hold on to their information.
And who knows, if you're cool and famous enough, maybe you can be like Joe Manganiello and have Archon the Cruel actually be in a real, actual D&D module that was just released a little while ago.
Oh, Joe!
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Archon the Cruel is now an official D&D character.
I'm never going to be that cool.
I'm never going to be that cool.
Sure you will.
I mean, you never know. I was just going to mention, too, Jingles, one of the things that I wanted to tell you. Now, Harbinger's friend that got killed was killed by a bear.
Uh-huh.
It was a werebear. It was a werebear.
Oh, no, a bear!
It was a werebear, but he may or may not be very trusting of you. It's going to take a little time.
Well,
and he may tell you
it's
nothing personal, but
Garath at all.
He would just kind of look and be like, it's going to take me some time. Like, I know you're not the bear that did what happened, but it's hard for me not to see you and think of the bear that did what he did.
So here's an interesting thing about Garath, is because I might have mentioned it before, but his backstory is that he got captured by a circus and was like parading him around like, look at this magical talking bear.
Because he's a talking bear.
Yeah, and was imprisoned for a while and was owned by people for a while.
Yeah. Legitimately a slave. And that's when Tiberiousness purchased him and got him out of there, and they've been best friends ever since.
Yeah. One of the things with Garath is that he goes out of his way to not judge any of the, let's say, less desirable races of the Pathfinder D&D world.
Yeah.
He doesn't he goes out of his way to make sure to get to know them and know them on a personal level and judge them by the content of their character.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. That's a big thing with Garath. They came across a tiefling that had been imprisoned, and Garath went out of his way to try and figure out why was this tiefling imprisoned and how can he get him out of there if he
legally
illegally and make sure that he's in there because he needs to be, or if he was judged because of how he looks, get him out of there for it and stuff like that.
Right.
It's cool because when Will was describing that mindset of Harbinger thinking to himself, I don't know, I know he's not the bear It's just, I don't know if I can, like, turn my back on him. I don't know if he's ever going to go feral. Like, while Harbinger is actively thinking about that and, like, thinking to himself, Gareth has already walked up to him and said, "Howdy!" and then offered a paw. Because that's what he does.
Very well happen. Yeah.
And I mean, like,
That
there's
could
always a
very well
possibility
happen,
that there could be more one-shots that we do. Or maybe if we lose our mind, maybe we would, like, start a campaign of some kind.
I mean, it could
who's to say?
It could even be that Carmella standing next to Gareth in front of Harbinger saying, like, "There's no need to despair at your current situation. Perhaps it is a question of simply looking upon the opposing side of the hill and laugh. Consider Gareth here as your beacon of hope. Yeah, look at me."
And so, it's just that, and it's just, things that I wanted to kind of put out there because, like I said, a bear was, like I said, it was a werebear, which werebears do exist in Pathfinder, right?
They sure do.
They do.
Okay. So if he ever runs into a group of werebears, just understand that he may have a hard time keeping himself composed.
Oh, that's not something I have to worry about, Will.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
Look, Gareth is not me.
Would take us there.
Like, Gareth has now come to the point where he's so much his own character that I just let him react in however he will react.
And that's a sign of a solid character writing. If you can create a character so definitive for yourself, they basically just write themselves.
Yeah.
Like, once you know, because Jingles knows Gareth. He knows how Gareth will react to different things. So all he has to do is just reference that in his mental inventory and say, okay, cool. Now I know that Gareth will go here, or he'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a director, I can't think of his name right off, but, there it is, Max Landis. He did Chronicle, he's done a bunch of other movies and things like that. He was the one that did he did a short movie called Wrestling's Not Wrestling, where he talked about the storyline aspect of wrestling. But one of the things he said in another video he did on his YouTube channel was he said good characters will tell you how to write them.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things about characters that will the story, if a story is good, the story will also tell you how to write it. But the characters are vital to how your story is told.
Right.
So
correct.
I appreciate the fact that when we're talking about characterization and we're talking about the idea of characters basically writing themselves, it's really cool to hear that as we're talking about characters.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
it's really kind of cool there. So I do want to go.
Sorry.
I do want to. Was there any other statements or questions? I don't want to interrupt that.
Oh, I
thought processes.
I wanted to also point out that Josh did agree to be a part of the one shot next week.
Yeah.
And so
I was going to ask that question. So that's
we've put together his character. His character is ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to do the art for him. But in which case, I was going to double check with everybody. Now that there are 4 people, and this one shot suggests 4 people to 4 players, 1 DM, so 5 people total. The character that I had created was a backup. Would you still want him there, which would be more difficult for me, but I can do it? Or would you be fine with just Josh's character?
I am perfectly fine with the 4.
I'm about to say, if it makes it more difficult for you, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm on that same level.
I could tell you with assurance. I could tell you with assurance that I'm familiar with the one shot that he's going to be running. We're all level 1 with 4 of us there, and considering how it's really user friendly, this one shot, like, we'd have to get unlucky with our rolls and stuff for it to get really bad. I can tell you with assurance, I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
We'll roll with the 4 and let the game master do the game mastering thing.
That works for me.
All right, Candace, what do you think?
That works for me.
Candace is all like, "No, I want the other character too."
Listen. I want them all. I want all of the characters.
I seriously think Skyrah would love Garas.
Yes. I think Skyrah would also love
I
Garas.
definitely think that Skyrah would absolutely adore Garas.
I've come to the conclusion most people love Garas.
Oh, yeah, they do. He's easily a fan favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like if we started, like, streaming our campaign, like, I think people would love Garas.
Oh, they would love him right away.
Yeah.
All our players love him.
It would be interesting and cool. I know you've got the campaign with the kids that you guys are doing, and then we've got the campaign we're doing.
Yeah, it's just
the one shot that the one shot that you're doing with the kids, and then the one shot that you're doing with us, and then the campaign. It'd be really interesting if we had a group of artists that could get together and a group of writers that could get together and kind of do the adventures of the campaign.
I
As
think
a small
I see what
book.
you're saying. I think I see what you're saying, and honestly, it's something I've considered for a while. There's this really big group called Critical Role, and they're sort of already doing that with their characters.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Critical Role.
Yeah,
I think I picked up one of their books for a free comic book day a couple of years ago.
Right.
I have the first issue of
Tales of Vox Machina.
Vox Machina Origins.
Yeah.
Which is their first.
Yeah.
The beginnings of their first campaign.
Right.
In comic book form.
Right. And
as well as they also have an official D&D module also available called
like, isn't that the Wildmount one?
Yeah, it's the Wildmount. It's something about Wildmount. I can't think of it right now.
Like Tales of Wildmount, or like the Adventurer's Guide to Wildmount.
Adventurer's Guide to Wildmount. That's what it is. And so there you go.
Well, there's a whole D&D setup for Stranger Things, as well as there's a whole D&D setup for Rick and Morty. So, apparently, you've just got to get big enough, and you can get a D&D campaign.
It's true.
On that note, thank you for listening to another episode of Conversations About ... Greatly appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope and pray above all else that this is an awesome Easter Sunday for you. No matter where you are on the spectrum, no matter where you are in the world, as you listen, and more than anything else, not only has Christ risen, but you're loved. And just as always, be blessed and be a blessing to somebody, guys. Take care.